Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your den of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
Hi everyone, Jason Hunt here, inviting you to join us every Saturday morning for news, the week's headlines in science fiction, fantasy, horror, comic books, video games, plus Comic-Con updates and the weather, and the occasional interview along the way. We call it Good Morning Multiverse. We hope you join us every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, right here on Sci-Fi for Me TV.
My name is Avery Fletcher. After 7 years away, I have come home with only one goal: to save my father. But to do that, I can't be the woman I once was. To honor my father's legacy, I must become someone else. I must become something else. I must become SCREECHER.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nick Gibson. Well, we are off to a bit of a late start tonight, but it can't be helped. Cox Communication is playing games with our internet connection, so I'm running on hotspot. If we drop off, Nick, you're running the show by yourself. So,
you're saying they coxed it up?
They did. They did. They coxed it up too.
It's all cocks up in the air.
I'm just messing with you.
Don't play with me like that, bro. Don't tase me, bro.
If all of a sudden that should happen, though, don't be surprised and just yammer on. So, new comic time. This is not your first go round with this.
Not even this year.
I know you put out a couple of different ones, and you've been learning with each one some new stuff.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
That's right. You find out, fail forward is what we call it, right? Not that
in the mainstream industry they do that, but here we fail, we learn, and then we get better.
That's right. You just if you're not failing, you're not learning anything. And I've learned
every day I'm tumbling.
Yes. So what did we come out of titles wise to get to where SCREECHER is today? I mean, what were the books that you've done in the past?
So I've done about 3 comic books before this. This is my 4th comic book. My first one was Product Access. That was like way back in 2020. I was like really green back then. Kind of like was flying a little bit by the seat of my pants. made a bunch of mistakes there, but it came out. The book came out. It got to the people. Maybe not in the best way possible, but that's where you learn. And then Turned Samurai is my next book. I did that one. That one was a little bit longer because some issues that weren't necessarily in my control happened, some staffing issues and just some other general effery. But I managed to pull that one together. Then issue 1 came out, and then I did issue 2 earlier this year. That one was successful. And basically I took in what I learned with the packaging. I put them all in the Gemini mailers, and I had no issues whatsoever. There was one guy who the letter carrier just kind of threw it onto the ground, a corner got dinged, and he told me about it, and I sent him another one, and I made sure to put extra reinforcement onto the corners. I even put shopping bags into the crevices of Gemini mailer just to make extra sure. And he said it came back fine, so I pretty much have a 100% return rate on that one. And then for this campaign for SCREECHER, I'm going with the best.
Good. That's great. So steel plating and Brinks delivery. Got it.
So while I did a decent enough job with the fulfillment, it's going to be done a lot better. I'm getting professional to do it this time. You could say it's a critical improvement.
Oh, you might say that. Yes.
Just so I can blast it out there.
I appreciate the kind words on that. And talking about learning opportunities, we've done the same thing. We learned so much. Kickstarter makes it very, very challenging to process their data. The only way that you learn some of that is you fail. It's it worked before. It's not working now. Oh,
meanwhile, Indiegogo literally lets you download a CSV file.
Yes. Well, so does Kickstarter. Indiegogo will say, Indiegogo will actually put one item per line. Kickstarter, okay, I'll tell you this. Kickstarter, if you have a book and then you have that book as an add-on, if a person buys the book and then adds it on, your Kickstarter data will say, add on this book 1, books ordered 2. Okay, do you add them up, or do you just say, well, I've got 2, but one of them's this, and they're just telling me that for detail? You don't add them up. But you can't ignore the add-ons, because if you sell a book and then you add on the same book, but you've got a different SKU attached to it because you didn't set your data up right, now you've got bought 1, added on 1. You don't want to send them 1, you want to send them 2. So there's a lot of manual checking of the data before you proceed with that. Learned the hard way.
Yeah, I used Kickstarter for product access, and I got funded and everything, but I switched to Indiegogo for all my campaigns going forward, and it was a bit of a learning curve, but once you kind of get over that hump, Indiegogo is actually, I feel a lot easier to use.
They are, from a data perspective, from a user interface perspective. We ran our campaign there, finished it, fulfilled it. Everybody's got their hardcover book, so I was happy using Indiegogo. I might have reached a wider audience with Kickstarter. I don't know about that, but we finished it.
I know.
That's all
I know pretty much all the rage nowadays is people who do their Indiegogo and then they do a Kickstarter and vice versa, and that's something that I'm deeply considering. With SCREECHER, is if this is really been wildly successful so far, and if the thing is as good as it is, I might just do another Kickstarter campaign after this one is all done and whatnot.
Well, let's take a look at where the campaign is here, because you launched 3 days ago, 2 days ago?
Last Friday at noon on the 7th.
Okay, 2 days ago, and a couple hours, and wow, 73% funded.
Yeah, it's crazy. Honestly, I'm flabbergasted that I am 50, essentially $50 away from 1,000, which by the way was the goal for my last campaign. My last campaign, the goal was $1,000. I'm asking for a little bit more money this time because I'm making sure to cover shipping costs. It's full color, and also because I'm going with you for the shipping, I want to make sure that I have the shipping costs covered.
But that's not part of the goal. That's part of the ship cost setup. Should be. should be.
Well, the problem is when the shipping cost is added as part of the goal. So let's say someone backs a book for $10 and then it's $9. Indiegogo treats that as someone backing $19, and that's kind of that's kind of a trick. That's kind of tricky that you got to work around, because the way that I did it is, how many books do I need to sell to do a 500 copy print run? My print run is going to cost me around $1,000. And so I factored how many $10 books I need to sell, and then how much would it cost to ship that, which roughly translates to around a couple $100. So I just made it $1,300 just to be on the safe side.
You're absolutely correct there. The shipping cost does factor into what their total dollars they show. So your goal better cover that. If you need 1,000, you better put it for 1,300, like you just did there.
And that's what I've done. Like it's crazy that like I'm $50 from essentially being able to get the book printed. I'd have to pay the shit. Like literally, if like literally right now, I probably have to pay a bit more out of pocket, but like I could print off 500 copies and do everything. Literally is what I have now.
Yeah, and it is a flexible goal, so that usually it means you're doing this whether you make the money of the goal or not. It doesn't look like you're going to have a problem reaching this goal.
Yeah, basically to me the flexible, because like by the time that I do the campaign, the book is either done or just about done. In this case, it's done. Like the book is 100% done. Like I have PDFs I can send to people. I've had some people said that it's pretty good. And basically for me, flexible means lower print run. So like let's say I get $500, then that just means I print 100 copies instead of 100 or 200 copies instead of the regular stuff. So it's basically, for me, it's a way to guarantee that something comes out of this.
Now the thumbnail you've got for your video there that we just played, that's a different art style than what the interiors are. Who's the artist who did that? That's a really nice looking pinup quality cover work there.
That would be the work of Xevious.
Xevious did that. Okay.
Yeah, I got Xevious to do the cover. That is a get. That is a get, my friend.
So that is the is that an alternate cover or is that the main cover?
That is the main cover. I was at one point planning on doing alternate covers, but it never ended up coming to pass. So I just kind of focused on the main cover, and Xevious came through in spades, honestly.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about who SCREECHER is and how you.
This is the cover, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Dang, that motorcycle is just a work of technical art there.
Yeah. So yes, in the comics, SCREECHER does ride her motorcycle. So there's not just some fantasy interpretation. It's like, oh, I want her riding a bike. No, she actually rides a bike in the comic. So that's like her main motivation. Yes, she can.
Because that's kind of like the Flash with the Flashmobile. I was like, dude, you can run. You can jog 60 miles an hour. Why do you have a car?
Well, the thing is, she can fly, but it's like rather limited. Like it's basically like the jets kind of have like a limited capacity, so it's more like getting into a situation, getting out. It's not like she constantly flies with it.
It's not a natural ability. It's an augmented machine thing. So
yeah,
use it when you need it.
Like if let me just kind of zoom in on here. Like if you kind of look at her feet, she's got like literally rockets on her boots. She's got rocket boots. Oh my God! Just zooming in. Just look at that detail. Oh my God!
Yeah. So something like that. You can't carry a whole bunch of fuel on you.
No.
So yeah, you would use it in short bursts and necessary. Is this trip necessary?
Like that's why she has a grappling hook on her left arm for redundancy, and sometimes she'll just use it as a means of like stealth or just kind of get up there. It's just more options. She has kind of options, really. That's what it is.
Okay. So having looked at a lot of the scenes that you've published already for this, the preview pictures, there's a strong Batman influence, it feels like, on the character.
That would be correct.
Because she's got like a cave and everything.
Yeah.
Base of operations.
Yeah, I mean, I've honestly worn my inspiration on the sleeve with this one. Like, I'm not even trying to hide it. In fact, I just come out and embrace it. Yeah, he's heavily inspired by Batman. In particular, I was trying to go back to like the late '90s, early 2000s kind of era of like DC Comics Batman, like kind of recapture that feel. You know, like the post comics crash kind of comics where it's like where comics became more writing based and it wasn't as gratuitous. Okay, gratuitous is not the right word, but not it was. There wasn't much emphasis on the art. I mean, the art was still good, but like there was more of a writing focus on the comic, and it kind of had a different feel to it.
So, what were the events that led you to imagine this character?
Basically, the thing that kind of led me to create SCREECHER was oddly enough Turned Samurai, where I'd be at these cons, and so Turned Samurai is a mature rated comic. It literally says that on the cover, and I'd have people come, like parents, and they say to me like, "We'd love to buy your comic, but it's mature rated because we're buying for our kids." Fair enough. And while Turned Samurai is selling really well, I realized I kind of needed a comic to kind of cover the all ages general audience kind of segment of these things. Like I'm still gonna do Turned Samurai. It's just these two are covering different segments, And so I've always loved Batman. I've always kind of wanted to create a
Absolutely, yeah. Why build a Beast Boy cycle when you fly?
Or like the spider car.
Yeah, or the Supermobile. Remember that?
I'm not that old.
I know. I am. I have the book.
At least the Fantastic Car made kind of sense.
Yeah, I not only have the book, but I had the Corgi vehicle with the spring-loaded fists. That was a Hot Wheels sized car. Yes.
Of all the people who don't need a car, Superman is literally at the top of that list.
Yes. Well, in his defense, he was without superpowers at the time.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. And he was fighting a Mazo on top of it, so...
Not so amazing, is it?
No. It kind of sucked. He needed a car that mimicked all his abilities. Now, if somebody hijacked that car and fought him with it, that would be interesting.
That would make it. Imagine. I can just imagine that just sounds like an episode from like Superman the animated series where like someone carjacked Superman's car and he's got to get it back. Like,
and the Supermobile did make an episode of the Super Friends. And now talking about carjacking it reminds me of the origin of Jason Todd, the second origin of Jason Todd.
You mean stealing the wheels off of the Batmobile?
Yeah, he boosted the wheels off the Batmobile. that took some cojones.
What's crazy? That reminds me of have you ever seen Baby Driver? The origin of Baby Driver, it's literally the same thing where it's like the main guy played by Kevin Spacey. He caught Baby trying to boost his wheels, and he's like just the balls on that case. So like when you literally said stealing the wheels and the balls, it reminded me I feel like Edgar Wright was really inspired by Jason Todd's origin when he wrote that scene.
Yeah, and that was it impressed this criminal act impressed Batman that he would be so brazen as to do that thing. I mean, he did get past the security. He didn't get electrocuted trying to take the tires off, so showed some ingenuity. But and then we learned how to hate Jason Todd, so we killed him, and they brought him back anyway. And I still want my $1.99 back for the boat cast that he didn't abide by.
And now people actually kind of like him because he's kind of carved out his own niche. He's basically the Punisher of the DC universe.
Exactly. He's the Batman with the gun.
And you know what? It works. Him being the Punisher equivalent, I think it works.
Yeah. Now, Batman working with him, not so much, I don't think. But
it's kind of like he's kind of like that one like son or brother where you really don't like them, but like it's the funeral, so it's like okay, fine, you can be part of the funeral. You push him to the side, but like he's there because he's family and whatnot. That's kind of how I feel like it is with Jason, where it's like he's kind of on the periphery, like he's not in the inner circle, but like he's still part of the family kind of thing.
Yeah, well, of course, Damien's actually killed people before, and Batman's been like, "What did I tell you? We don't do that." It's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? Oh, nothing. Okay.
Well, I think Damien kind of has like that past because like he's actually the blood son. The only two people who can literally get away with murder are Damien and Dick.
Yeah. Yep. And Dick would never do it. And Damien's got no.
Yeah, because Dick is literally the golden child of the family. He's like the old child that literally is perfect in every way.
So given that there's Batman influence with Screecher, and we've just talked about how basically the Bat family is larger than the Justice League on a good day. Does Screecher have any? If she does she have any sidekicks? And if she doesn't now, do you have plans for it? Will there be an outlet or something in the future?
Well, I do have like a backstory plan where like there might have been previous versions of some heroes, and there might be kind of like a villain who turns into kind of like a Catwoman situation minus the romance kind of thing, where it's like you have a villain who you kind of work with, who you're friends with, but you'll kind of see that in future issues. She does have an Alfred type character. His name is Scotty. That's not his actual name. His real name is like Alistair. It's just like he's Scottish nickname. He's like the caretaker of the property, and like, he's kind of like the guy in the chair kind of stuff. So, but he's very much kind of like an Alfred type character.
Now, as I understand it, and yeah, it's he works as the old Punisher, not as the new Punisher. As long as they don't try to do that. They
don't take his symbol and then make it Asian for some reason.
Oh yeah, for no reason.
And no, well, they do have a reason. It's to piss off a certain group of people.
Oh well, yeah, of course, because that's what large companies do. They troll their fan base. As I understand it, the story that you've got set up here is sort of a mantle passing. She's not like I have an origin as Screecher, but more along the lines of my father was a hero and something's happened and now I've got to take on the identity to go after him. Am I off base there or?
You're not too far off base. Like I'm a little vague with like the details at first. And there very well be it's true from a certain point of view kind of situation going forward. It's kind of like a subplot of this isn't the first time Screecher has flown, because like she literally finds the suit in the basement of her house, literally in a glass case kind of thing. So like, how does it get there? The explanation is like, oh, your mother made it for him for an anniversary present in 2005. Like her mother was like the head of the engineering department of University of Michigan. Like the whole department worked on it. Like, oh, you want a real life superhero suit? I'll make you one kind of thing. And then she kind of refits it for herself. But that's the explanation she's given. Is that the truth? Is that the whole truth? Is it nothing but the truth? So help us God, kind of thing. And it's kind of something you'll find out as this volume goes on.
Okay. So she puts on basically a super suit and has an arsenal of tools at her that she can use. But she has no experience.
There is kind of a thing where it's like her parents kind of have been training her. Like you see it from like the very first page where like they're playing hide and seek, and like he's like, found you, and the dad's like, you're getting slower, darling. That was 2 seconds, kind of thing. Like it's kind of like they've been training her whole life by playing games, like that kind of situation.
Kind of like
you literally see
that situation.
Yeah, kind of like that. You literally see it on the first page of the book. Cause like the first page is a flashback. You see it in like sepia tones and whatnot.
Okay.
In fact, let me grab you that first page. I don't mind it's the very first page. If I'm going to show something, might as well be that. Let's see here.
Hooks are never spoilers. Hooks are hooks, no matter how they get showed.
All right, let's get the letters. Page 1. All right, so this is page 1 of the comic. And, yep, this is exactly what I was talking about.
Okay, I got it. Got it.
Yeah, and so like he's trained and also since her mom is kind of like literally an engineering professor, runs the engineering department. Her dad, was former military, and then like he's a vice president at a pharmaceutical, like a chemical engineering project kind of stuff. So like she has like a passing familiarity with that kind of stuff. Then she knows like Krav Maga, and she has like passing familiarity, like took gymnastics when she was younger, kind of thing.
He doesn't put her in a bulletproof vest and shoot her so she knows what it feels like, does he?
No. But you can kick ass.
Okay. Yeah, you knew the reference. Okay.
I actually do like that movie. No. This it wasn't as brutal. It's more just like they trained her through everyday kind of games, so like even she was none the wiser kind of thing, Like it wasn't as overt. It was more just like, hey, I want to make sure teach her stuff, but not have it be, whatever.
Yeah, trained through play. That's a very cool approach actually for a hero to be trained that way.
Yeah,
and they knew something was coming.
Yeah, and so like this is like the last day she saw her father. This one kind of hits you like a freight train.
Yep. No, there was no next time. So
yeah,
so that's a visceral memory for her.
Yeah, and like as you can see, it's colored in like the sepia tone to very clearly communicate that it's a flashback. Because like this is the first page. A person's coming into this blind. I got to be very clear with what things are. So that's why I chose to do it in like sepia, because like it's very like, oh, sepia means flashback, kind of thing.
Always does. It means it happened in the 70s.
Well, technically, this one happens in probably around 2012. I think this scene takes place. Yeah, the book itself takes place in 2019. So there's like a 7-year gap in between this scene when he gets charged with embezzlement, false charge, and then they move to New York. She takes a job at, the mother takes a job at Columbia and whatnot. So she lives in New York for about 7 years, and then she kind of comes back. She's 19 years old, and now she's back.
All right, so let's take a look at some of the tiers that you've got on this campaign.
Okay.
So because I not viewing it here because I don't want to suck up bandwidth and lose the connection. So far, so good. Using the phone for a hotspot might be my fallback now. So I don't know how many tiers you even have. I think it was last time I checked, it was fairly simple setup.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep it like simple because like I got like a cover, a few hollow variations, and then a few goodies kind of mixed in. Nothing too big. I'm just basically just selling the comic mostly. So my featured tier is called All the Comics, and it's basically everything non-collector, and that's $50 plus shipping. So like the shipping is $9 domestic and then $25 international. That's what I had set. And so for all the comics, you get digital comic, a physical comic, trading cards, holo comic, holo card, stickers, and a print. And what I mean by the holo is like a full holo, not spot foil. That's going to be the Talon edition. We'll get to that in a second. But it's like full holo, full comic. And the card is going to be the same way. It's going to be a holographic card. It's going to be of SCREECHER, but it's going to be like a different art of her. I'm going to use like a civilian version of it for this card. So it's not just like the card just hollow-eyes. It's actually going to be a unique kind of variant.
Okay. So it'd be a different piece of artwork on that. So two the books will be the same. Just one will be a hollow cover and one will be the standard cover.
Yeah, exactly. And then
everything minus a few.
Yeah. So for people who just want to support me, or if you're like international, you don't want to pay the shipping, which I don't blame you. I have my $5 digital tier, which gets you a digital copy of the comic, which will be sent out after like. I usually send out the digital as I'm doing fulfillment because, like, I want to make sure everyone kind of gets their comic at the same time. I don't want anyone to like kind of jump, whatever. If you just want a physical comic, it's $10, and you also will get a digital comic with this. I wanted to make kind of sure of that because, like, there's some people who they buy a comic and they want to preserve it, so they have the digital to read it.
Sure. Yeah, I think anytime you have a digital version already available, you should just consider it as read that you're going to include that with all the physical purchases.
I agree absolutely. And then $20 gets you some goodies, which includes a sticker designed by 6 a.m. And then you get the trading cards, which will be a set of 3 trading cards, which will be Avery herself in her Screecher outfit. You get Harrison, and then the main villain, Kathleen. Those are going to be your 3 trading cards. And then for 30 is if you just want the holo foil comic, it comes with the digital comic as well. And then my penultimate tier is the $100 Talent Edition, where you get everything. So you get everything that I've listed before, and then there'll be not only that, but you'll get your name in the back of the comic, but also there'll be an additional comic in addition to the holo foil. There'll be a third comic, which will be like the Talent Edition, which will be limited to 25, and anyone who orders here gets the early numbers because this is limited to 10. So you basically get on the early numbers, and the Talent Edition is going to be spot foiled in purple, to where like the logos and whatnot, it'll say like Talent Edition, and they'll be hand numbered, and then also you'll get a print of the cover signed by both me and the artist Xevious. Now, this is something that won't happen very often because Xevious lives down in Texas, so it's kind of hard to arrange this kind of stuff. So,
yeah,
like this could be like those prints could be a future collector's item, and like the prints are actually going to be the size of a comic book anyway.
Makes it easy to ship.
Yeah, you just put them in the back and whatnot.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
So, the symbol there we saw that's your company logo. That's the Phoenix Press.
Yeah. This is like the Screecher logo. I have a couple different variations of it. She wears it on her chest. It's meant to be kind of like a cloak class kind of thing. Yeah, so let's kind of scroll down. So this is an actual page from the comic, and this is actually more what her cape looks like. I pretty much borrowed it wholesale from Dove from Titans.
I was gonna say it reminds me of Princess from Battle of the Planets.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
she had that feathered kind of cape thing going too.
Yeah, and
like
this
same way.
Yeah, so like this page is kind of like a training montage, kind of like going over the abilities of the suit kind of thing, you know. And then this is kind of like another further page, kind of just showing off, you know. This is the villain of the series, Kathleen Johnson.
Yeah,
it's pretty blatant. Yeah, exactly. I'm not like I said, I'm not even trying to hide it.
So she doesn't have a villain name.
No, she is the head of Eden Pharmaceuticals. There will be another character coming in issue 2 who's more like super villainy, who's actually teased at the end of this issue. You know. There, and then this is going to be printed with Comics Wellspring. This is a better look at the sticker. Oh yeah, it came up. It came out pretty well, honestly.
6 a.m. is just like everybody's little chibi sticker.
Almost everybody. Like I've had some colleague, like some of my peers say it's like you're not a comic book creator until you have your character done by 6 a.m. So I'm part of the club now. And he did a really good job. Like the details, I love it. And then this is the trading card and whatnot. Kind of list my team right here. We just kind of scroll up because I got some more pictures I can kind of show you. Yeah.
So you got you've talked up the future issues, things you're going to introduce. Is this what you're looking at as being ongoing, or do you have a specific story arc that it starts here, it ends here? Thank you for reading Screecher.
A little bit of both, actually, because like this is meant to be an ongoing, but right now I have a volume 1 planned. So like I have a 4-issue story arc planned out. Actually, the scripts are already written; they just kind of need to be edited and whatnot. But like pretty much the through line, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm going to do. You know, I know how this is going to go. So like volume 1, and then they'll come up with a volume 2 later on. But right now I'm kind of focused on just getting those four issues out, doing a trade and whatnot, then going from there.
Oh, so you are planning on doing a trade then?
Yeah.
Once it's all collected up. All right, cool. I'm enjoying this picture of her busting through the glass here. Did you do all the
Yeah.
interior artwork?
No, it was done by an artist named Brian Q. Actually, the same person did issue 2 of Turn Samurai. So if you like that art, and then the colors were done by a colorist named Gomaji, and then it had a letterer kind of come in and then finish it all up.
Yeah. Now you got the color scheme for her being largely purple. That's not what you normally see in a hero. You know, comic books. They're primary colors for heroes, secondary colors for villains. And that's why Stan Lee made the Hulk green and purple, because he was an anti-hero. He wanted him to look different than a standard hero.
Yeah.
So what led to your design choices for the costume? Because you were it's your vision. You gave.
I'm not gonna lie. I was very much kind of inspired by like Batgirl, with like a lot of the colors and designs for a lot of this stuff. So that was kind of where I was kind of leaning with that. Some of my earlier color schemes were a bit more leaning towards Batgirl, but like through later revisions, we kind of darkened it up a little bit, introduced more black in the costume. Because like the original color design was very much more Batgirlish, which had a lot more yellow in it, and it just didn't work, honestly.
Yeah.
And then I had like a proper colorist kind of go in and do it, and then they made it work a lot better.
Now, one of the other things that I was there for when you were working with this was the logo itself. I mean, logo design is a struggle when you're creating something for
yeah. That was something I had to kind of do like a last minute redesign on. I had Lenore kind of do this one for me, and looks pretty good, honestly.
Hit the pros, yeah, because before you had that, I could see what you were going for. You wanted to have that sort of feathery kind of effect.
Yeah.
But it was very busy. And it didn't look like a logo should be something that you can have die cut easily and make a sticker from, or a patch from, or anything else.
Yeah. Like, while I did like the original logo, I do agree with you. It, I'm kind of putting up the, let me just grab the original, kind of like the old one that people probably seen. Let's see here. All right, so this was the original logo I had, which I liked it, but it's not the best, especially for a comic, you know. Now that being said, I still kind of do plan on using like the badge portion of it, which I feel like if I'm going to use this alone as a symbol, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
But like as like a name, I just figure it's best to do what I got there, and I think I got my money's worth, and you know, I definitely think this is better.
How did you settle on that as being the name of the character, as opposed to, like, Owl Woman or something?
I wanted something simple and evocative. Like the thing that I kept coming back to was, the comic character Preacher.
Yeah.
It's simple. It tells you everything you need to know. Because like with Screecher, I was going for like Screech Owl. It's like she does have a sonic weapon. Where she kind of uses like disabled
people. That ties in. Makes a little bit more sense now.
Yeah, basically she has kind of like a sonic weapon that like it's kind of like and then she kind of goes in, kicks her butt, kind of thing. And then later on it might be improved to be more of like a blast kind of thing, but like, yeah. So she does have like a sonic weapon. I call it the Sonic Screecher.
Does she inhabit a world where costumed heroes are a thing, or is she sort of the first of her kind in this universe?
I'm kind of still developing that idea, but one thing I do have run with is like there's a lot of costume mercenaries running around where they kind of do like the bidding of other people, and like they usually kind of wear costumes, and I do kind of planning to have like other people kind of as well, but like it's still a developing idea, but like I'm leaning towards yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen Roger Corman's Black Scorpion?
I have not.
You need to. You
okay.
because I just realized that this reminds me a lot of Black Scorpion. In no way whatsoever, other than the fact that it's a female Batman-like character with gadgets and tools going out and fighting crime. Black Scorpion, of course, with Joan Severance wearing tight black leather.
Wasn't that in the 90s, like a direct-to-video thing?
It was, and then there was the movie, and I think there was a sequel movie, but there was also a Sci-Fi Channel series that sprung out of the movie that was.
Didn't she have a car?
R-rated. She had a car, yeah. And
I remember, like, I used to have this. I used to have this book about like superheroes in the 90s, and they actually did a write-up on her. I remember reading about that.
Yeah, because she had a car that would it would change color. So if she would like go through a tunnel in one car and come out the other end with the car having changed colors, like it was like those Hot Wheels color racers things, you know.
Kind of like Viper, the show Viper.
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, Mike, you got it. She disorients him with a sonic.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, in this issue, it pretty much exactly that happens. I don't want to show it because that's like the one part, like action portion. I don't want to like give up the goose too soon.
Oh no, you don't want to do that. But yeah, sometime check out, see if you can find online Black Scorpion to watch. It's Roger Corman, so it's filmed on like $5 in a favor. Yeah, exactly. But it's a lot of fun, and of course the movie is a little bit more R-rated, so it's got that. But
isn't there a scene where like they literally show her? Isn't there like a scene in the R-rated stuff where it's like they literally show her boobs?
Probably. Different actress on the television series. I can't recall who it was, but in fact now I've got to look up who played her. Black Scorpion, and
that's how he lost his internet, folks.
Site imdb.com. Okay, yeah, the TV series created by Roger Corman. Blah 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 blah. The city of Angels is falling apart and crime pervades the city to the core. The mayor is corrupt. The police are inept. Yeah, it was like the police were like the Keystone Cops. It was always these two cops in the city, and that were like dripping donut juice on their badges and stuff. Darcy Walker is a cop, but in the dark of night she becomes the Black Scorpion. She does with a mask what they couldn't do with a badge. Played by Michelle Lintel. And joined by Scott Valentine as the only capable cop on the force. Yeah, not R-rated because it was, it just wasn't. It was that. She's pretty much a B movie actress. Like I'm looking at like her stuff. She's just pretty much got all B movie stuff. Yeah, but they ran a full season, and it was the villains were like total ripoffs of Batman villains. So she had her own version of the Joker and everything. And that's something that's going to be fun as a creator, I think, to play in the world of Screecher is designing villains that will be challenging for her, but on her level. I mean, Batman. Well, Batman fights anybody. Batman could fight God now with proper planning, according to the writing.
I mean, there's literally a movie where Batman gets Darkseid to back off, and like Darkseid says, "I respect you," Which, to be fair, is one of my favorite Batman, Superman, Batman Apocalypse. That's a movie. That's actually from 10 years, like 10, 15 years ago. But like, I actually really like that moment because like it's just such a quintessential Batman moment. Like, that is such a Batman thing to do.
If Screecher is patrolling the city and I don't know, Darkseid shows up on the streets, she says, "Oh, that's Darkseid. I'm going to pull right over here into this alley and get on the phone. And I'm going to call somebody who can take care of this because it ain't me."
Yep, I'm going to take off my costume, find a corner of the alley, and then cry because I'm going to die.
Yes. Well, if you're going to go into the alley and take off your costume, you've got to throw it in the trash can, but leave half of it hanging out, and then just walk away with
Screecher no more. Screecher no more.
You got the cover ready.
Oh my God, this stuff writes itself.
Yes. So Mike's asking who would win between Screecher and Silver Age Black Canary.
Black Canary.
Definitely Black Canary. My money is on only because Screecher's got.
I got biased. Well, for one, Black Canary is a lot more heavily trained with the martial arts. Also, the Canary Cry is like there at an instant. With Avery, it's like a dial because like there's 3 different things at this wrist. She has like a flashlight, a laser mic, and then the sonic screech.
The Space Ghost Gauntlet.
What?
She's got the Space Ghost Gauntlet.
I wasn't trying to do that, but okay.
No, you remember he'd always like, Invisible Ray. And it was all built into his gloves with just different buttons on them.
Yeah, I mean, this end is literally just a grappling hook, kind of thing. But like this portion has like the 3 different things, and then kind of talk about her other abilities. She has claws that come out like Black Panther style. I literally, I don't know if you actually kind of caught that in the page, but
they're built into her boots too.
Yeah, those kind of serve a multifunction, but different one. But like, I literally do a Black Panther homage. You know that one, the one poster where he's like looking down at his claws.
Yes, at least she's not,
No, but like you get the message.
Yeah.
So basically, the talons are kind of they're for two different things. One, when she's kind of like it's like when she's against the wall, the talons kind of come out and go in a little bit so you can kind of secure herself. But also, so like if she wants to like swoop down and grab people with her feet like an owl, she can do that.
Oh, that would hurt. Because if you're going to grab them with talons, you're going to stick them somewhere to hook them like a slab of beef.
I mean, at that point, like, who cares? Like, it's more than likely bad guys she's trying to do this to.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so you just started. You're going to go 30. You're going to go 30 and 30, or are you just going to go the first 30 and say, okay, we made it, we're done?
Probably the first 30, because like I just want to get funded and then get the books to people, because that's kind of my goal. Stretch goals. I mean, if I get funded in the first week, obviously I'll be announcing stretch goals. I mean, you stupid not to. But like the other 30 is more just like an emergency, like, please break if not funded kind of thing, which thankfully I've had to use it, but it's there if I need it. I just want to get the books to people,
Okay. So if on day 30 of the campaign, you have $1,302 or $1,305, whatever it adds up to, you're like, we're done. Thank you. Close the campaign. No in demand, none of that stuff.
Oh, I'll do in demand. Yeah. In demand I'll do in demand.
Okay.
Yeah, basically I do in demand right up until the print run, because like there's usually like a month and a half kind of like gap in between there. So like, and then once the print run is in or I'm ready to do it, that's kind of when I'll close in demand. So basically I run in demand for like another month after that.
Right, now you always overprint too because you like to have stuff on hand for conventions, I'm guessing, and
yeah, I actually make a lot of my money from. Yeah, I actually make a lot of my money from conventions. So basically the way that I do things is I'm just trying to do for a print run, and then I sell at conventions, and then the money from the conventions helps pay for the production of the next book. And so that's kind of that's what's been really helping me with this is that like I'm not trying to go for production cost with these books, and then that way I can go for a lower amount, and that way it's easier to get funded.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Whatever you can do to make money in this business, do it. As long as it's honest and and the people are happy with what they get. So when is the delivery on this one? I didn't pay attention when the tiers were going by there.
I think I set it for January, but that's more of a under promise over deliver kind of situation. I have a feeling some of this stuff is on you, but like
oh yeah,
because like basically as soon as I get the money from Indiegogo, I'm going to be going straight to print. Like pretty much, like, and it usually takes about 2 weeks or so, 2 to 3 weeks to get the money from Indiegogo. Comics Wellspring takes between 2 and 3 weeks to print it. So the earliest this stuff, and then then they're going to be shipping stuff to you. So honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think
some of it's going to go to you though, because you and Z got to sign stuff.
Yeah. Well, basically, the way it's just prints he's gonna sign, and I actually, he's gonna print it locally on his end, sign his 10 prints, then send them to me, and then I sign them, and then send them to you. Basically,
You send them to me, and then I package them with whoever gets them with the books that I've got from Comics Wellspring.
It's just the easiest way to do it, honestly.
Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah. And the way we do things, and I won't deviate from this because I've saved my bacon a lot. Is as soon as the box arrives, I'm like, I think this is Nick's box, and I ping you and I say we need to get on a stream privately and open this box. And then once you're there, I go take my box cutter and I open it up and say, look, it's all good. And then 3 days later, they should be in the hands of the United States Postal Service.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the earliest it could be going out would be late November, early December is like the earliest it might be going out given this time frame. Now, obviously, this is not set in stone. This is not guaranteed. This is just more of a guess.
It is an estimate, folks. It's not a deadline. It says estimated date for a reason. Estimated shipping. Melvin's getting ready to launch number 2 from Timothy Olsen here real soon too. So we'll want to pay attention to that. Hail, Robert Roberts, follower of Lord Xenu and Princess Xena. Good to see you there. So yeah, I mean, shipping is so much fun. I actually love doing it. It's a very zen kind of thing.
Yeah, when you get in like the zone and whatnot.
Oh, and I've got so many going on at one time right now. I mean, I've got Associates of Ishtar going from the Netherlands. I've got Tropical Magic sitting back here, ready to ship, just waiting for the trading cards to get here, and then that'll all go out. Kozor is sitting in customs, waiting to get to me from the Barton Brothers, and it's all going to be here at once. And I'm just going to say, you know what, guys? I know I just came back from vacation. I'm taking another one because I'm going to stay home and fold comics. No, I'm not folding the comics. I'm folding the boxes. I'm not dumb. Yeah, make it fit in that envelope. Just crease it like the old. Oh, yeah, like the old Marvel comics. You'll see in the price guide sometimes where it'll say subscription crease, because if you subscribe to Marvel in the 70s and on into the 80s, they sent you your comic book in an envelope that was half the height of a comic, and they folded it and put it in the envelope and mailed it to you. Because, it wasn't a collectible industry then. It was still periodicals. So they folded it like, you might get your TV guide folded or a magazine folded.
Yeah.
They stopped, thankfully, but I would have been PO'd.
Yeah, because like by the 80s, comics were starting to get more collectible, so I'd assume that like
Yeah, I had a few subscriptions. For some reason, I was subscribed to some Archie comics, and what I remember is that they didn't put them in an envelope. They just put like a brown paper sleeve around them that the comic could be slid out of, and somehow that sleeve stayed on the whole way during the transport of it from Archie to me, and it be rolled up, put down into my P.O. box when I was a kid, and I'd pull it out, and it wasn't bent. It was just, rolled, and it would just lay right flat again. Oh man. And then, realizing that these things need to be bagged in some fashion or other, and bags didn't exist. I bought the gallon-size Ziplocs, and I would put like 10 of them in a Ziploc bag and just seal them off. I had a plastic, a thing you would put on your desk to put file folders in, and each gap was just like 2 inches wide between the dividers. So I got little stickers, and I put DC on one and Marvel and then Archie. And that was the extent of my comic book collection then, was all the DCs I fit into that one little 3-inch gap. And that quickly filled up. I was like, this isn't going to work. When I went to the Ziploc bags. And now, of course, I've got like 26 long boxes sitting in a basement, and it's my third time around collecting that many long boxes. So I've been at it a long, long time.
Yeah.
What do you collect, Nick? What do you read these days outside of the indie and the stuff that you do?
Not much comics nowadays. I've kind of been focused on my own stuff. I play a lot of video games. I watch a lot of movies and TV shows. Those are kind of really my thing. But like, as far as comics, I've been really I've been getting that itch to kind of go to a store and like start up a poll list, but I'm not really like sure where to go.
Oh, poll lists are dangerous things. Get away
Yeah, for both the customer and the store. It's like, sir, your poll list is literally overflowing our drawer. Can you please come by and at least get some of them?
I've been that guy.
You have $5,000 in poll comics right now. Could you please at least spend $100?
Yep. And then the guy comes back and says, yeah, you know what? I'm canceling my poll list, and just leaves. And now you got all this unsellable stuff because the guy had eccentric tastes.
It's like, who the heck wanted Hello Kitty Island Adventure the comic, The Second Coming? Like, seriously.
Yeah, it's well, somebody wanted it. Some editor someplace said make it. I remember
somebody wanted it. They asked for it, then they decided they didn't want it.
Yeah, I remember growing up in Sparta when where all the comics were printed for the longest time. People would just bring home the print overruns. It was a common thing. You shipped out the 100,000 or 200,000 that was left, and you still had 50,000 books sitting there. People just grabbed them off the table on the way out and took them home to their kids or put them in yard sales and stuff. But one guy overreached, and they did have to stop him and say, thanks for working here. You need to go somewhere else. Because he just filled a hefty bag with a Marvel #1 release, and that was going to be his retirement fund. He had a first issue Marvel comic in the 80s, and #1s are always collectibles, especially if it's a hot property and everybody's talking about it. And he did not get to retire on his hefty bag full of Smurfs #1. I don't know why he thought he was riding the zeitgeist of the industry on Smurfs #1, but yeah, I had to laugh at that one when I found out he got fired for that.
I'm sure he was feeling quite blue afterwards.
He was, yeah. Oh, geez. hang on a second. Do that again.
I'm sure he was feeling quite blue afterwards.
All these sound effects, and I never am fast enough on the draw to use them. Hey, StreamYards, why don't you make this whole thing pop out so I can be to the side and I don't have to scroll through stuff? That would be great. Thank you. They could all pop out and be their individual little windows. Oh, please do that, StreamYards. That would make my life a lot easier. Yeah, he probably was going to take them home and put them next to, his bagged and boarded copies of Muppet Babies, #1. Although there is an Alf comic that did kind of go up in price because they pulled it. It was
it's Alf, but in Pog form.
Yeah, well, oh, jeez. But yeah, it was there was an X-rated Alf comic that got out.
Of all the comics, it had to be Alf.
It had to be Alf. It was the safety seal. Do not buy if safety seal is broken, and it shows Alf
the
riding the seal.
Has been broken.
Yes, that seal had been broken. So he's like, hurry up already. And it looked like he was riding the seal, but then you looked at where the tail of the seal was, and it didn't go under his legs. It went over his leg and around his side. So
he's still riding the seal.
He was right. That seal was riding him. And that seal had a shocked look on its face. And it was like, and the artist, I don't think the artist ever worked for Marvel again. You can
I guess you could say the artist got a little bit too cocky.
Oh, yeah, he did. It was a bad pun. And yeah, y'all can Google that. Just look up Alf seal.
I'm sure when parents saw that comic, they thought, something's fishy going on here.
Oh, come on now. Oh,
something was coming, all right. Okay. I kind of crossed the line a little bit there. I'm gonna dial.
I know. But you know what? I'm just curious now. What it's going for on eBay? Just to see $315 on eBay for that Alf comic. That is
That is crazy.
Controversial. Alf number 48 to save yourself some Google time there. But
I gotta see this cover.
I'm just gonna share it.
Oh, I was just Googling it myself. Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Ow. Should I share it? Like, should I put it on the screen?
I've got it. So there it is, folks. Yeah, that's that poor seal. So hurry up already.
That seal is gonna need some therapy.
Yep. No animals were
lots of therapy
making this cover.
I
mean, I beg to differ. Oh, the comics is a dirty business. We have some very strange people working in the mainstream.
I mean, have you seen some of like the classic Disney art coming out, like some of the dirty shit the Nine Old Men did in their free time?
Yes.
Like some of those classic Disney artists, like some of the stuff they did, like in between animating like Disney shorts, like they did some filthy art. Like seriously, like
well, to get it out of their system.
Like, do you want to see Snow White bent over telling Pinocchio to lie?
But now, was that by the original people, or was that just DeviantArt folk?
I mean, I'm sure DeviantArt has done it, but some of those Disney animators, they did some filthy ass shit.
Yeah, they did. And well, it's to get it out of their system. I remember there was the story of when Bruce Timm approached Fox with the Batman the Animated Series thing. Said, this is what we're going to do, and there was a list of things they could not show. It's like red blood, drinking booze, smoking, drug use, sexual fetish, that kind of stuff. Yeah, stuff that you would think not going to be in there. So Tim presented this to the animators. He's like, okay, guys, make a 15 to 25 second clip of all of this in one scene. And there is they made a clip of Batman going backwards out a window, his hand around the Joker's throat, the Joker with a gun to his head, smoking with an injection needle, and Harley Quinn wearing a leather outfit with her boobs hanging out, and is like, okay, you got it out of your systems, now don't do it anymore.
I need to see this.
I don't think that ever escaped. Just the story that it was made escaped.
Honestly, given how like the lost media community is, I would not be surprised if it's somewhere. Like, I'm sorry, but that is something that people would want to see.
Yeah, it is. I have never seen it. I've just been told it was created. I would love to talk with Bruce Timm on the show sometime and get that validated, to know that it was a real thing. In any nudes of Screecher hanging around in the background that you just got out of your system? So, okay, we've done it. Now let's not show it. But
thankfully, no Rule 34 of Screecher. There is some Rule 34 of. There is some Rule 34 toward Samurai, but given that as a mature audiences only comic, that's a little bit more understandable.
Doesn't really count.
Well, basically, there was someone who approached me, like a person I follow on Twitter I'm friendly with. They said, hey, I want this artist to do a Rule 34 of one of your characters, and it's going to be nude and whatnot. Is that okay? And I was like, hey, this character is of age. She works in a brothel anyway. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. And yeah, it was Rule 30. There's Rule 34 art out there of Quell from Turn Samurai, and actually, it's pretty well done. The artist Neff did a great job.
All right. Well, Nick, I think we've covered just about everything and more that we want to know about. I think you're going to be funded in a very short amount of time. Is this funding faster than your previous projects? By far.
Turn Samurai, I was going for 1,000. I got the 1,000 with like a week left. This one, I'm like, I could be funded within the first week. Like, it's looking very possible. I'm not going to say for sure, but it is looking very possible that I could get funded in the first week.
Excellent.
Which would like, I mean, if you think about it, I'm like $50 from 1,000, and then it's just 300 more on top of that. So
that's
it's
not
like
take a whole lot.
Like, honestly, I think if I don't get funded in the first week, I will probably get funded in the second.
All right. Are you already started? I know you got 4 issues written out, but has the art begun on issue 2 yet? You know when that might get kicked off? I know we're not even fulfilling this one yet, but
I gotta.
How long to wait?
Well, the thing is, I'm doing like a leapfrog kind of thing where it's like I work on one comic, then I go on the other. So next up is Turn Samurai issue 3. That one has kind of it started in a pre-production, but when like the symbol kind of thing came up, I kind of put a halt on that. I'm gonna be getting the script for issue 3, basically edited probably next month. Gonna have hopefully have Piper do that, and then basically just have some character designs made. I'm going in a new direction for Torrent Samurai. I'm gonna go for more of a grayscale kind of art. And then Turn Samurai issue 3 will be coming out in the spring, and then SCREECHER issue 2 will be coming out in the fall, basically roughly around the same time of year.
All right. Well, with that out of the way, folks, you are intrigued by what you've seen of SCREECHER. The link was always right below the video. If you scrolled an inch, you would see it. It would take you right to the Indiegogo, and you could have thrown money at this. If you're watching this on replay, it's still there. Just go right down there. Why are my fingers at different levels? Is my camera lit? Okay, there we go. It's down there. Some Jack Kirby foreshortening going on here. Wow, that really works. So Nick, thank you so much for bringing SCREECHER to the channel tonight. And
it was a blast.
That's our line. We say that to the folks in the audience who we were glad we're here for all of this. We're just a podcast falling in the woods otherwise if you're not here to watch. So we're glad that you were here. And as always, while you were here, we just hope you had a blast. Good night, everybody.